Hello everyone, I'm Brian Dragon, and welcome back to Vox Adventures. Okay, let's see here. Let's just walk on. Wait, hold on. Yeah, microphone is at 100%. Somehow it had gotten down to 65 on Monday, and I checked this morning and it was at 82. I mean, I had put it back to 100. Yeah, I have no idea how it got down to 82. I have no idea how it got down to 65. Unless I change the volume, shouldn't it just stay at 100? I have no idea. It's just so weird. But anyway, I had my doctor's appointment yesterday. Asked about the blood test. I'm healthy. I'm just hypochondriac who's a little bit underweight and has a little bit of blockage in the left ear. Meaning my hearing is at like 80%. What? Where am I? Wait, what? What? I did wild in the wild. In, you know, this world. Okay, then. Well, we won't be able to do wild again twice in a row, but let's just head back home. So I'll be doing some reading. Just give me a minute to finish this paragraph. Well, good lord, this heat. Yeah, so I'm still working on my story Aether. All these things I'm going back and changing. Well, let me put it this way. The one god I was constantly working on started off as the donkey god, then the aardvark god, now it's just simply the storm god. Obviously based on the Egyptian god Set. I mean, not obviously, but if you actually read, if you were to read the story and with the general description I give of his form, yeah, it's one of the forms of Set, basically. The Egyptian god Set, who really was not as bad as he would be portrayed in later parts of Egyptian history. Yeah, just as Osiris was not exactly as good. Of course, there's still two gods, the Sun Bull and the Moon Cow, whose names have remained unchanged. Well, mostly. Originally, the Sun Bull was the Earth Bull, but still basically a combination of one interpretation of Minos and Poseidon. While the Moon Cow has become a combination of many goddesses. Oh, for God's sake, can I please just get this encoding overload nonsense figured out? Okay, hold on. Okay. Let's carry on. And there we go. Good lord, this encoding overload nonsense. Yeah, despite primarily being a sun god, there is still going to be a bit of, as I said, there's still a bit of Poseidon in the Sun Bull, and there's a lot of goddesses in the Moon Cow, a lot of real world goddesses. Why? Because the triple goddess concept just gives me a headache. Just merge all these goddesses that were said to be a form of a ancient Greek triple goddess into one. Is it a trio of goddesses? Are they three sides of one goddess? I don't know. It depends. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's the other. Why can't it just be more simple? I'm no atheist and I'm no agnostic either. I understand gods perfectly, but the triple goddess just drives me insane. Okay. Back to reading. I apologize for that spiel I went on about the triple goddess. The main antagonist of Aether, Taurus the Younger, has been renamed Taurus the Third. And this stems from me getting a PDF of On Incredible Things by Palaephaetus. Who of course wrote about mundane interpretations of a lot of ancient Greek myths. To the point that he even reused one particular example. Both of which involved a bowl in the original mythological form. The myths in question are those of Europa and the Minotaur. The myth of Europa has Europa being brought from Phoenicia to Crete by Zeus in the form of a bowl. And Palaephaetus argues that a bowl could not possibly swim all that way. Even if it's a bowl that's really a god. Even if it's a god in bowl form. So he said there was just a man from Knossos whose name was Taurus. He attacked the Phoenician city of Tyre, where Europa came from, and carried her off along with some other young women, and that's that. As for the one of the Minotaur, well, who doesn't know the story of the conception of the Minotaur, complete with a regular bowl on well, you know. There was the Cretan bowl, well, what would become known as the Cretan bowl, that Heracles would capture as one of his labors. And then there was the Queen Pasiphae, a goddess. Queen of Crete, a lesser goddess. Then there was Daedalus, who made a hollow cow for Palaephaetus to be in, and you get the idea. Yeah, the Minotaur is the son of a regular bone and a human form, and a queen, a lesser goddess whose form is that of a human being. So Palaephaetus very understandably just says that Palaephaetus, a regular woman, cheated on her husband Minos with a man named Taurus. Again. Just reuse the same one. Just reuse the same explanation. Now, Taurus the Third is basically, he's many things, but he's also inspired by mundane interpretations of the Minotaur. Be it fiction or non-fiction. And now, one of those interpretations is that the Minotaur actually was just Minos' deformed son. And that he rather accused his wife of bestiality than acknowledge the boy as his. So I just combined the two figures, with Taurus the Third smaller being Taurus the Younger, and as Minos was the son of Zeus, and no doubt the Taurus and Palaephaetus retelling of the Europa myth is no doubt took Europa as his wife following her abduction. Yeah, that would, I took inspiration to make Taurus the Third's paternal grandfather Taurus the Elder. It's an interesting read on incredible things. Yes, a very interesting read, but besides reusing the same explanation twice, it I guess contradictory. According to Palaephaetus, the Amazons were just a bunch of cross-dressers, men dressed as women. But in the case of the Sphinx, he actually refers to this as the individual as actually having been an Amazon woman, an actual woman named Sphinx. Yeah, pretty contradictory, isn't it? But there's a lot of other explanations. The Hydra just a fort. Pegasus, just a ship. Like Chimera, a lion and a serpent who lived on Mount Chimera. Cerberus, just a regular dog who comes from a place that means three-headed. Hmm. Right, so Palaephaetus wrote quite a bit. On Incredible Things. It's really an interesting read. And when it comes to some things from Hellenic mythology, it's mundane interpretations are legion. Robert Graves interpreted the Minotaur as actually being the sacred bone of a sun god. That sun god, of course, being Minos. Minotaur, of course, meaning bowl of Minos. Why am I pronouncing it Minos instead of Minos? Well, if we pronounce it Minoan, if we pronounce it Minotaur, then for God's sake we should pronounce it similarly with Minos. So yeah, literally a bowl in Robert Graves' case. And all other interpretations I've heard, well, most other, it's just a man. More often than not wearing a bowl mask. One interpretation being that it was the king of Crete himself taking on a bowl, donning a bowl mask during a religious ceremony. There is one, however, that has the Minotaur as neither bull nor man wearing bull mask. You see, in this interpretation, as in many, the labyrinth is Gnosis itself. And with all of the bull imagery on the to be found throughout the palace, that inspired the Minotaur from the fear and imagination of those who were there steal from Gnosis. But what's your favorite mundane interpretation of the Minotaur? Regular bull? Regular man? Or something born out of the fear and imagination of would-be thieves? The Hydra's not alone in, I mean, the Minotaur's not alone. The Hydra also has quite a few. I mean, obviously I mentioned the fort. But in the novel Earth Giant by Edison Marshall, the Hydra is reinterpreted as a gaseous swamp. In the 2014 film Hercules, which starred Dwayne Johnson, they were just a group of bandits wearing serpent masks, which in my opinion is very much at the bottom of the list of interesting. It's definitely the least interesting. What do you think? Fort, swamp, just some bandits wearing masks. Be it fiction writer or some manner of archaeologist and historian, there's always someone offering a mundane interpretation. Even filmmakers have gotten in on it, obviously. And if you're wondering about the golden apples that Heracles was sent after, Palaephaetus just made them sheep. Being sent off to steal sheep. Well, not all of them are perfect. Of course, at this time, that's the only mundane interpretation I've heard in regards to the golden apples of the Hesperides. I'm still working on Earth Giant. I should probably get back to reading that. And also something interesting is that the giant Antaeus might not originally come from Hellenic mythology, though famous as a opponent of Heracles, he most likely originated from Berber mythology and was interpreted into Hellenic following the Hellenic conquest of Libya. Thus his Berber name, Anti, is most likely his original name. Though I'll have to do some research on, ancient Berber religion, as I'm not entirely sure if Poseidon and Gaia were worshipped by the Libyans, or if that was something that came to be following obviously it came to be following the Hellenic conquest. Yeah, 2 minutes. I think that's enough reading for now. I'm sure there's very few people interested in what I have to say, but I don't know. Sheep instead of golden apples. A winged horse really being a ship. A famed opponent of Heracles being incorporated from a conquered area. It's just interesting things to me. And if you find them interesting too, please leave a comment or something. Anyway, that's all for today. I'm Brian Croy Dragon signing out. Stay straight.